Warning, the following episode contains adult language and screaming goats. Listener discretion is advised.
The Pinball Network is online. Launching The Pinball Show.
It's time for the Pinball Show. It's pinball with personality.
Come one, come all, it's the Pinball Show with your host, Zach Meny. How's it going, everybody? We're doing video again. We're going to try this out. And my best buddy was like, wait a minute, if you're going to do a pinball show and it's going to be video, then why in the hell am I not included? Ladies and gentlemen, it's my best friend in the world, Greg Bone. What's going on, Greg?
Not much. Most special guest you could ever have on.
You are special. That is quite certain. What are you up to today?
Just doing this podcast. Going to move an alligator later on here as soon as I get off of here.
Moving an alligator, is that like a euphemism for finally getting laid? What is that?
No, it's truly moving a real
like
alligator.
a real alligator.
Like a real alligator, yeah. Yeah, I've watched, I always want to say her because they named her Allison before she was old enough.
Allison the alligator.
Allison the alligator. Okay. Before he was old enough to be sexed, they thought that it was a female, and then they found out, it has, I guess, a gator penis of some sort, I guess.
Do gators have peni?
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming something comes out. I don't know. I haven't. I could probably Google it real quick and see what a gator.
Let's not.
The gator Peter looks like. But yeah. So the guy.
Who's
it's a friend of ours.
Who is they? Just like a friend or what?
Yeah, it's a friend. So he got this gator when he was like a little bitty thing, and you know how people do with pets. But he was one of the few pet owners, like one of those things where that it's like, oh my god, I bought a pet that is terrible. Like it's like an alligator.
It's
like
an
it's
alligator.
Growing
yes,
up.
Of course.
Yeah, it's growing up and getting big. Like, what do I do with this? Most people do that dumb shit, and then they just get rid of it.
No, most people
they're like,
don't
oh my god,
that dumb shit. But okay.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I'm saying the ones that do, that would like be dumb enough to.
I had a ferret once, but okay, yeah.
Yeah, see how you just get pets, and then nobody thinks it's going to get that big. But this guy like had a big heart, and he was like, I'm not going to get rid of it. Like, I'm committed to this thing. I made this mistake. I'm going to do it. So literally, like, he took his entire garage, ripped out the floor, poured additional concrete, and made like a fucking pond inside of a garage, weatherproofed the entire thing with all this foam and everything else in there to control mold and mildew and stuff, and made it a place in the garage. And then he made a giant outdoor pavilion too, with like a fence and everything, and a whole lagoon and everything for it. And now, like, so he switches, he takes it from the indoor space to the outdoor space, between summer and winter, so that it can have fresh air and live outside. And I think that Allison now is like probably like 10 or 11 foot.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's like a full undertaking. Like,
I've just got
I'll send you pictures. I'll send you pictures. I'll try to get some today, and then if not, I'll send you some from a few years ago that I took. I haven't taken pictures for a while out there, and he was probably about 7 foot then. Last time I was out there, 8 foot.
What are the odds that you get bit today?
Man, there's been some hairy calls before. Like it's tough. Like you've got to stick like this whole.
It's a backyard Indiana alligator lagoon. Yes, there's hairy calls. Yes.
Yes, and so you got to like stick a thing in there. You got to put a noose around its neck, and then you got to get one around its jaws, and then you got to tape its mouth closed, and you got to drag it out. And dude, like
sounds sensual, actually.
So here's the thing that like a lot of people don't think about is
nobody thinks about this shit, Greg. Okay, what is one thing that you don't think about when wrangling your pet alligator?
So the number one thing you have to think about, dude, is like you're not really got to be worried too much about its jaws and its teeth so much of getting bit.
The tail.
Like the one thing the tail. Exactly. Yes, the tail. It will snap your fucking legs off.
Really?
Like, yeah, if it hits you, like that tail is massive and it's powerful.
Are you going to take your little Yorkie dog?
No. I mean, it's kind of been bad, so maybe I will. feed it like a little chicken. But no, dude, it's pretty interesting, and it's like it's so insane because those things feel like they're leathery, but they're soft. Like they're very. It's such an odd feeling, and just to feel the immense power in that thing, because you have to straddle it and you got to hold it down and stuff.
Okay.
It's pretty damn cool. It takes multiple people, but
so it feels leathery. You straddle it. You have to put a noose around its neck. You gotta check its genitalia for what sex it is. It sounds like a great night between me and your mom. I'm not gonna lie.
I swear, I knew that was coming. I set myself up.
As soon as you said leathery, I was like, and there it is. There it is, right there.
No, that's what I thought. I was like, yeah.
You gotta straddle it and noose it. That's Greg Bone's mom right there. She's probably more wiry than that damn Allie the alligator. I can tell you that much. All right, Greg.
Meaner.
Let's talk about pinball. Wow. Holy, I'm so glad I had you on here today.
It's been a long time. I've begged you forever.
Don't beg me at all.
Best friend, straight down the middle co-host, and I got to beg to come on the pinball show.
Oh, man. Dennis Creasel thought that this video thing was just last week. Poor guy.
Little does he know.
Poor fella. We'll do it as much as we can. I did want to announce to you viewers and listeners out there that we do have a winner, 2 winners, 3 winners, 4 winners of the TPN Pinball Network Babies competition that we were doing, that contest, where we put up a picture of different TPN personalities on social media, and you had to guess who that TPN personality was. And we had 19 different entries, and then we had numerous of you individuals who tried guessing. We do have some clear winners here. First place winner is the winner of a shaker motor. Stern Spike shaker motor is going to go to Jordan Stoltz. Congratulations, Jordan. Now he earned 11 of the 19. He got 11 correct out of 19. That's not too bad.
That's pretty solid. It's hard to gauge like what people look like now versus then. Some people don't change, but it could be tough.
Do you even have baby pictures?
Yeah.
Do you?
I'm cute, baby. Yeah.
Okay.
But man, did I go through an awkward teenage year. Oh
man.
Like, oh my God. Like, you know, like I'm unrecognizable as like a young teenager.
Wow.
Filled with acne, bad haircut, and blonde highlights. Like
frosted
and
tips.
No beard. Oh, frosted tips. Oh, and I was poor, so those were homemade.
And I was poor. You had peroxide and shit, didn't you?
Yeah, that was the Walmart special
lemon
L'Oreal. I didn't go that far.
Yeah, you go.
Not the $5.
Not speaking
box.
From experience here, but all right. So the first place winner was Jordan Stoltz. I think he's an Evansville guy, so hometown guy. Nicely done, Jordan. Second place winner of a Stern or a JJP banner, we have both in stock at Flippin' Out Pinball, is Paul Patzer. Nice job, Paulie. Paulie got 10 out of 19 correct. And third place was going to be a commemorative collectible foil decal of their choosing. We got a little pinball show action. I got them right here. Let's see. Since I'm doing video, you might as well, right? Boom, boom. I don't know how well it picks up.
Oh,
Greg's usually the camera guy. There it is. Bam, 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 bam.
I like it.
Or we've got Flipping Out and all that stuff. So there was a tie. There was a tie at third place, and the winners, we're just going to give them to both. The winners got 8 out of 19 correct, and those winners are Kevin Hart, a longtime viewer and supporter of the Pinball Show, the Pinball Network, straight down the middle. He's been a good friend, as well as Robert Gagno. Robert Gagno, nicely done. Yay! So what you guys need to do now, so that I have your address, Jordan, I've got yours, it's fine. But the other individuals, email us at thepinballnetwork@gmail.com. Send me your info so that I can get that mailed out to you. Nicely done. And for those of you who are following along, if you'd like a rundown of the 19 TPN personalities, entry number 1 was Craig Bobbie, number 2, Joel Engelberth, number 3, Rebby Hardy, number 4, Michael Castleman, number 5, Eric Wertenberger, number 6, Sean Wilson, number 7, Steve Beatty, number 8, Lisa Castleman, followed by number 9, Carter Castleman, number 10, David Dennis. I don't think anybody got that one. Number 11, Ron Hallett Jr. Nobody got that one as well. Number 12, Dennis Creasel, my little crazy. Number 13, Beck Gallagher from Hup Challenge. Number 14, Hottie from Frisco Pinball. Number 15, Tommy McNichols from Jedi McMuffin streaming. Number 16, George Fisher. 17, Amanda Hamilton. 18, yours truly, Zach Meny, which I believe everyone got correct. And number 19, Jordan Allen from Hup Challenge. Nicely done. Craig Bobbie started us off at entry number 1. I think maybe only one person got that correct. Let's jump over to Craig Bobbie right now, Greg, and see what he has drummed up for us regarding pinball news around the industry.
Hello and welcome to the Pinball Show's news update. I'm Craig Bobbie. One of the constructive criticisms we hear occasionally on the TPS news desk is that we're too biased on industry leaders like Stern and Jersey Jack Pinball, and that we don't give equal time to the smaller boutique manufacturers. How does the so-called little company get their name in the sun on the TPS news table? Well, for one, the boutiques are just that, small relative to Stern, Jersey Jack, Chicago Gaming, or American Pinball, and have less going on. So there's really less to say about them week in and week out, other than waiting, and more waiting. If you thought waiting for your new game was slow and frustrating with JJP or Stern, you better make sure your patient pants are the right size when you hitch your wagon to one of these small companies. But despite those challenges this week, we're going to ask the big boys to step aside as we shine our TPS News spotlight on a few of these smaller, boutique, or lesser-known pinball manufacturers and give you a few updates on where they are with their production efforts or upcoming releases. A quick disclaimer before I begin, as some of these companies are just as their moniker suggests, meaning as always, it's buyer beware and be careful with your deposits or payments up front, as the stories of bankrupt pinball startups or those who are unable to deliver on their promises to customers are surprisingly common in the last 10 years. Too often, the very challenging and difficult business of pinball still attracts those who bite off more than they can chew, or those that should have kept their day jobs doing anything else other than try to make pinball machines. But the upside to some of going through the long haul with these long shots is everything. How would you like to own a machine that none of your other friends have either heard of or can get their hands on, while Sterns, JJPs, American Pinballs, or even CGCs are a dime a dozen in the real world? Who out there actually owns a pin from one of these lesser-known companies? To the winner will go all the spoils, while the loser gets, wait for it, nothing. So I'd like to emphasize again that these companies are smaller, that they have varying degrees of financial risk to the buyer attached, that we at the Pinball Show do not accept money or sponsorship for the mentioning of their products, and as always, it's buyer beware. Do your homework first before you pull out that credit card, and you be the judge on whether they are worthy for your precious time and treasure. But without further fanfare or chatter, here are some news about the most common boutique or smaller pinball companies in the market today that I haven't mentioned previously and that we will continue to follow and monitor in the months and weeks ahead. We start first with Pinball Adventures. You've heard about them, you've laughed at their themes, but don't look now, Pinball Adventures out of Surrey, British Columbia, Canada is actually getting ready to make their first release of Punny Factory. Andrew McBain recently reached out to the Pinball Show to offer these production updates. Things are great over here, and we've been busy for 2 years building and understanding what goes into manufacturing. We would have finished the Punny Factory last year, but we were waiting on our subcontractors to finish their part of the build. There were lots of bumps along the road, but we learned from each one. Andrew goes on to say that they are hoping to assemble and test 13 games in the next 2 weeks. I will make it clear that we have no problem getting parts. Raspberry Pi is questionable. We have been just waiting on other contractors since we were always put on the back burner being a small company. It's a good thing that we do not have to rely on pinball for our bread and butter. Our other company that is quite busy funds all the pinball supply, manufacturing, and research and development. So really, no financial pressure at all, just fun. Once we start building, we will be selling all the games through distributors and asking for $1 deposits to hold the game spot. It will be limited to 4 per distributor. We will start by building 10 games per month, but will ramp up to 20 or 30 if we sell out right away. We are still only making 120 units for Punny Factory. Pinball Adventures also has a progress meter set up on their website pinballadventures.com that shows each game's progress to make it easier for the buyer to know how far along their game is. Also of note, Pinball Adventures makes their own feature titles known on their website, with 5 more in development, including Elements Pinball, Volts Electrical, Sushi Pinball, Forsaken Ninja, and Fruit-O-Matics? Say what? Pinball Adventures has also created a handful of unique pinball tools or other pinball-related devices that are also shown on their website, which include Pinball Pause, Pinball Wedge, Pinball Strong Arm, Pinball Boost, and Pinball Upright and Spin. Say what? We turn our attention next to the company Multimorphic with their P3 system, featuring their latest music-themed title of Weird Al Yankovic. Following Facebook posts from Canada's Pinball Podcast showing unfinished wood cabinets and playfields on the Multimorphic production line, the Nap Arcade news site also recently posted news this week stating that Multimorphic is working hard on new Weird Al code. New code updates include You Make Me Wizard Mode, an improved UHF multi-ball, and new special Drink from the Firehouse challenge. The game now has over an astonishing 2,500 callouts from Weird Al himself. Previously, the company has stated that it is experiencing production delays of its new Weird Al title due to labor shortages. We move next onto the world of the Pinball Brothers. Daniel, the CEO of the Pinball Brothers, recently sent us their production update for their movie-themed Alien pinball machine. Daniel states, "We are hard at work increasing our production capacity to fill the Alien orders, and I am happy to say that everything points in the right direction after a difficult 2021. We are approaching 500 games, SVLV, shipped. For the moment, the factory is putting out approximately 65 to 70 games per month. There will also be side blade decals, not lit, just decals, for Alien, and a light box kit for the back box made available for Alien SV game owners. Both will be announced when available. The confirmed Queen music pin will be up next for the Pinball Brothers as they continue to assemble parts and make their minor design tweaks to that game after a non-playing prototype went on display in London some months ago. And what comes after titles like Alien and Queen? Daniel responds, "The next title needs to be, well, worthy, if you like. We are very proud of the licenses we have had a chance to work with so far, and that pride will not fade as we move to the next one." Let's have a look next at Dutch Pinball, makers of the Big Lebowski movie-themed pinball machines that was released what seems like a lifetime ago back in 2016. I won't go into the financial and production trials and tribulations of Dutch Pinball, as others have discussed this at length over the years. However, courtesy of Nap Arcade and Canada's Pinball Podcast, we are now getting images from the inside of the sizable production floor of Dutch Pinball, as their ongoing Big Lebowski machine seems to be ramping up further, as images show dozens of finished pinball cabinets on the floor with machines in various stages of production. According to a Pinside member named Svente69, who recently took a tour of the Dutch Pinball production factory, the current wait time for orders of the Big Lebowski pinball machine is a little under 1 year. Also of note, Dutch Pinball is sending out 2 early achiever games for its original customers who are still owed machines with every new shipment. And lastly, the most recent defunct Deep Root Pinball Company appears to be back from the dead, posting on their corporate website. Courtesy of Chris Chandler, our former Deep Root news correspondent, noted a string of characters on the Deep Root website, much like a cipher code. That string of characters decodes to "Check back soon for something interesting." Could it be true? Or could someone actually still be trolling the pinball community from inside an SEC courtroom? Well, we shall have to wait and see. Thanks for listening this week as we covered the news of some of the smaller or boutique pinball manufacturers in the pinball industry today. As always, for the Pinball Show, I'm Craig Bobbie. Catch you on the flip side.
I still love Craig Bobbie doing that. It's a good one. It's a good segment.
It's fun, man. Craig brings a lot to stuff. Like, I've kind of enjoyed that. Like, I've always enjoyed, just kind of some of the things he scripts out and some little extra flair he throws on to stuff, man. It's nice.
He was doing deeper cuts. He was going with the boutique pinball companies with a big old warning. I'm saying, hey, I'm covering this stuff, but don't get mad at me if these companies fall through and your money is lost. So nice.
But we got to cover
disclaimer.
those. Still pinball.
But we can't start with those. We got to start with the king. It's Stern Pinball. This is what the show is all about. The biggest news, the best news. And we start with the biggest company, Stern Pinball. Did you see recently, I don't know if it was Twitter, Instagram, Facebook stories, I don't know what it was, Stern Pinball kind of trolling the people, and especially American pinball, with a picture of owner Gary Stern and new CEO Seth Davis posting a picture with Sonic the Hedgehog at a licensing or a Comic-Con convention of some type. So costumed up was Sonic the Hedgehog, and to the left and right, flanked by Sonic, was Seth Davis and Gary Stern. Did you see that? That was nice. Nicely done.
I saw the Sonic ass grab.
I was going to mention that too. Their hands were a little low, weren't they, on old Sonic?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you goosing him? You trying to bring him over? Is that how you got that license? What happened?
I think they were trying to collect rings, if you know what I mean. Oh,
brown
man.
ones and not golden ones.
Oh God! Oh. Pew, pew, pew. Do you see Stern Pinball, Greg? Do you see them making Sonic the Hedgehog pinball game?
Oh man, I don't know, because it's one of those things that obviously just seeing Ryan McQuaid's game and stuff, and seeing, because there's been an outpouring of people that's like, oh my God, that would be good. But I have a hard time differentiating, and being able to tell, okay, are people wanting just Ryan's game? Because Ryan did a really good job with what he did in that game. Yeah. Or are they really calling for a Sonic license? So, I think it's a combination of both. Do I think they will? Maybe. I don't know. Will they buy Ryan's game? I don't see that happening with him working at American. But if American can't get the license, Ryan's setting on it. He wants to make money off his game. Is that something you've ever seen Stern really do? I mean, we see him bring in Elwin with Archer and re-theme it.
Yeah, they usually contract.
Sort of
even with Nordman, they contracted him to come in to do Elvira's House of Horrors and different things. So I don't know if they buy the game. I think that they see how popular that license is for the market they're trying to sell to. They see Ryan McQuaid do a homebrew and everybody go gaga over it. So they say, yes, I think we got this, and I think we can do this even better. I see them doing a loop-to-loop. I see them doing all of that. The number one thing, and I've said it before, viewer, I don't think it's so much the license of Sonic. I really don't, because I don't think people want the movie. I don't think they want the cart. I don't think they want any of it. They want the Sega Genesis series of game. That's what they want. Deadpool, a la 100%. Deadpool. Yeah.
And that's what was appealing about Ryan's game, was it was the Sega Sonic. It wasn't the movie Sonic. It wasn't any spin-off or the cartoon animated series or anything. It was Sega Sonic.
It wasn't Ugly Sonic.
No, it wasn't Ugly Sonic. For sure.
Yeah,
but here's where some of the issue lies too, that I think a lot of people, if Stern makes this game, which I do think they will.
I think they will.
Is it always going to be compared to what Ryan has done, or any aspect, like you said, like the loop to loop, or you've got the spinner at the finish of the level, like
thing,
Ryan
yeah.
put? Are they going? I mean, because Ryan used a lot of stuff that's in the game, and no matter who makes it, it's things that you would expect people to put in the pinball machine. But will it always be compared and say, you ripped off Ryan McQuaid, you used his idea, you did this? Do you think that will taint that game if they do make it?
I'd say see Godzilla. I mean, everybody supposedly, whenever Stern snatched it out from Spooky Pinball, that license that it was their dream license, everybody was head over here. They were angry. They were upset. This is a shitty move, Stern, yada, yada, yada. Elwin creates Godzilla, and nobody says a word now because it's one of the greatest games ever made. And people actually say, well, at this point, they're like, retrospect, hindsight, they're like, well, I'm glad Stern made Godzilla. I'm glad they did it over Spooky. So I think if they make it a great game, people are not going to care at all.
Yeah, but again, this is it's a hair different. I agree with you. If they make it great, people forget and people don't care. There's none of that loyalty there. But the main difference is Spooky didn't have basically a built game. Spooky didn't have anything physically to compare it to. It was the theft of a license. But this is so different because Ryan had basically a finished game in a sense. So I think that's the hard thing.
I think it's going to be even more difficult, Greg, if they do try to interpret this license into a game. If they don't get those very Sega aspects of it from that video game series, then I think you do see people going back and saying, but what if? Mm-hmm. If only it was a Ryan McQuaid. Then I can see that. I can agree. Because we need a loop-to-loop, we need a fast game.
Yes.
And we need a somewhat friendly game, but we need those Sega video game assets. Or with Chuck Ernst and the animation team viewer, they could probably replicate a lot of that like they did in Deadpool and pull it off as well. But it'll be very difficult. But I think they probably could. During that same, it was on Facebook Stories because I saw that picture pop up. I also saw a couple other pictures pop up with some of the Stern people around licenses and characters from franchises and such. I went back to try to see which other ones, thinking maybe they're giving us a little hint here. The only one I remember is because it's near and dear to me was the movie E.T. They were with E.T. And I got to tell you, I don't know how well it would sell, Greg, but E.T. would be just such a lovely game, in my opinion. It's one of those things that's like Avatar, where people are like, oh, I don't like that license, but I just love it. So it works for me. I don't know how great of a seller it would be, but do you see them ever making Steven Spielberg's E.T. extraterrestrial?
The weird thing about like something like E.T. is it's kind of like what you said, is it's like, does anybody think about it? Does anybody go? Does
it have legs from yesteryears?
Yeah, exactly. But it's so whimsical and it's so heartwarming and it's so adventurous. Like there's so much to it that if you really start to think about it, it could make a really cool, neat pinball machine. With Elliot and the bicycle at the end, anything, him in the basket.
The hood.
His finger lighting up. Yeah, all kinds
laboratory
of
stuff, the flower wilting. You got all kinds of stuff there.
Yep. The race to get ET, with the, away from the FBI, whoever was
You're
in
gonna
there,
kill
CIA.
him. Yeah.
Yes, and them on the BMX bikes, like it just screams 80s nostalgia, 90s nostalgia in so many ways.
And that film score,
it could be good. Oh. Yeah, I think it could be something very soft and whimsical, like Wonka. Like, I think it would have that same kind of overture.
I'd want it a little darker. A little darker.
Well, I mean, it's not gonna. It can what sense? Because it's obviously not gonna lend itself to the colors and the brightness.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, not too much whimsy.
No.
I don't want too much color. I want, the wood. I want the greens. I want the darkness. I want the coldness of the lab feel. I want all.
Oh yeah, you have to. Yeah. You don't want to brighten it up. You don't want to go throw in like a Guardians of the Galaxy art package thing.
Email us at thepinballnetwork@gmail.com if you remember what other pictures they were taking, because there could be some stuff there. Speaking of new stuff. So
not to divert this, but I'm never on the show, so we don't get to talk about fun things. But what do you remember what we were talking about a few weeks ago of what no one thinks about, nor had we really thought about as a theme for a pin, but it would actually be an amazing pin. Do you remember what movie we were talking about? He's a failing actor who's making a giant comeback.
Johnny Depp?
No, he ain't gonna come back. He's just fighting for his life. No, you remember Con Air?
Oh, Nicolas Cage.
Yes. You remember how we talked about
We had
Con
a 45-minute phone conversation about how Con Air could be one of the greatest pinball machine themes ever.
Yes. It went deep. Yes, I do too, because there's so much you could do, and it was phenomenal. So I had to throw that out there, because you know how we, here in the media, we got to get ahead of other media people, so before anybody else says that Con Air is going to be, if they ever made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
with
We got
his
ahead of it.
shitty Southern accent. He was like from Louisiana.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
What was his
love
name in that movie?
Oh my gosh! If you wouldn't have said anything, because I mean, like I said, we went so in depth.
I mean, you got Steve Buscemi in there.
yes,
You've got
John
Ving Rhames in
Malkovich.
there. John
Yes.
Malkovich was in there.
Danny
John
Trejo.
Cusack.
John Cusack. Yes, it is a phenomenal all-star cast. That would be amazing, and that could be where that you run into the major issue.
I would just love it
License.
so much. I would
Oh, I
love
would
it along
too.
the same lines as I would Face Off, Armageddon.
Yeah.
Like those
Armageddon would be good.
those 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, just action. I love it.
That's the thing, is Con Air is just pure action. It's sort of, to me, like when you take something like Guns N' Roses and you just take that just like the feeling of nonstop hardcore.
Yeah, high energy.
Because yes, like that's the way that you could make that pinball machine, because there's just like almost no dull moments in that movie. It's so insane the entire time.
Cameron Poe.
Cameron Poe, yes.
Cameron Poe. And Cyrus the Virus was John
Yes.
Malkovich. Oh, Dave Chappelle was in there too.
Yes! That was before he was like ever even thought of.
Monica Potter
Yep.
was in there. Oh, remember she was
had to
a
look
freaking
Monica.
fox on Joe Dirt. Another theme that would be great for pinball. Man,
Joe Dirt would be good.
Joe Dirt, baby. I hope that in our lifetime, Greg, one of those things, two of those things, three of those films are made. I really do.
Well, you really think about it, though. We're getting out of, soon we'll be progressing where we're starting to get out of the things like Ghostbusters, and where 80s stuff is relevant.
90s are coming. I've told everybody.
90s are coming. Yep. And that's what's going to start becoming next. Popular.
Man, why? Speaking of the hit that is Top Gun this weekend at the box office, why is Top Gun still not a pinball game?
Dude, that would be insane. Like, updated F-14.
Yeah, that would be
Yep.
great. That would be just phenomenal. I wonder if Steve Ritchie would do a Top Gun since he did F-14. That would be like in his wheelhouse theme-wise, I think.
Yeah, I think it's something that you know, an updated F-14 from Steve, you know, the flow, the speed, and everything else, but with an updated license. You know, it's kind of like him doing a Black Knight again. It would be like, you know, revisiting F-14, but
Kenny
you know,
Loggins.
yeah, he's throwing it in as a license. And I think that honestly, with the popularity of this new movie, you take the nostalgia of the last one, like, and as well as this one's going over, because like I haven't seen it yet, but that's what everybody's saying is it's basically like such a great throwback to the original that it encompasses everything that made the original so good, almost maybe better. Like I think it could honestly be a theme that stands up and would probably sell, really.
Speaking of themes, the rumor is a Venom pinball machine possibly coming up next by Stern in August. That or a rumored James Bond. Do either one of those do anything for you?
I mean, can you not see, like, behind me? Like, oh, look, right there, actually. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wait, I got a glare.
A nice glare from that light box.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Yes, it 100% would.
Right next to your Deadpool, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah. And then I can get rid of Batman 66. I'd have a reason.
Then you'd want Spider-Man Vault again.
Yeah, I still want it. I don't want
No.
Spider-Man Vault. I can't do Spider-Man Vault. Like, honestly, I would take a Spider-Man Vault 100%. I just haven't looked. I need to look and see if they got a good pin sound file for it. If there's something good.
Yeah, we need Simmons back in there. Parker!
Yes. If I could redo that, I would take the Vault. Just 'cause I love the look of the Vault. The look of the Vault is amazing.
Beautiful.
But not doing the sounds anymore.
Okay, so Venom you could do. James Bond. James Bond is
Yes.
a little dated for me, I gotta say.
Hey, Bond is for me too. And then like
Unless it's Daniel Craig.
Yeah. But
Then
man, even
I'll
Daniel
have a
Craig's
chubby
kinda,
opening that box all day long.
it's kind of worn on me a little bit. Is it past its due? Like it's so hard to do a Daniel Craig one right now, because then it's like, okay, they're looking for like
Yeah, I
Idris
know.
Elba. They're looking for a new Bond. Like, so it's like, it's be so weird to have an outdated Daniel Craig pinball machine that just shows up, and now you got a brand new Bond that's not Daniel Craig. I think they kind of missed the boat on that by like 5 years.
Yeah, they could have done one just based on Casino Royale.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Amazing film.
I think it's my favorite Bond film, actually.
Yeah. Mine too.
I don't
Daniel
know.
Craig's probably my favorite Bond.
Skyfall was really good, too.
Skyfall was good. I do like Craig. I just don't want him to mess it up. They've had a good string of Bonds. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some code updates. We got some big code updates from Stern Pinball this week. Godzilla version 0.96, which includes a Monster Zero mini wizard mode. Now, Greg, you have Godzilla Premium.
Yes.
And you are in love with it.
I do love it. It's
so much so that you want to redo our straight down the middle review.
Yes. I need to. Yeah, because I shit on that game.
You didn't shit on it. I mean, it's a B+.
Hey, listen, a B+ is normally good, but I shit on this game for what it is to give it a B+.
Mm-hmm. And have you updated the code? I haven't updated code on mine yet.
I haven't either. I did the last update that came out, a couple months ago, but yeah, I haven't done this one. And I still didn't, I never did the README file. This is how stupid I am. And I don't know why. It's just dumb. I never did go in, and I never read, because didn't they put another mini wizard mode in that last one too? Wasn't there?
Yep, I forgot the name of it, but yep, they had another one there too.
Stupid me. I just never did go in because I don't know how to, I still haven't gotten to it, and I ran through a few of the monsters, the kaiju and stuff, but I don't know how to get to it.
I haven't got to that one yet either. No.
Yeah, I need to read and see what I need to do to even get to it. So,
you've been too busy. You've been too busy training to be an official tech to do any of that. We'll talk about that here in a minute. So we got new code from Rush Pinball as well, 0.96 as well. So we're getting close at 1.0 codes for both of those new games. The new Rush code includes the Cygnus X1 Book 2 Hemispheres Wizard mode, and they added a challenge mode into that game, as well as just a bunch of other call-outs, light shows, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So go update your codes, people, and it's easier than ever with Insider Connected. Bada bing, bada boom. You're uploading. You're good to go.
So here's one thing that I need to say publicly, and I need to talk on the air about for like 3 minutes.
Okay.
Having a Rush at home, Rush is actually a very phenomenal game. Like,
yeah, you're big on Rush.
I wasn't that much, but I like the way that it shot. So, you were gracious enough flipping Out Pinball to let me take one home and explore it. And I actually kind of fell in love with the code. Like, I love what Ray Day did with the code. It's super tough because the modes are long. The amount of shots that you have to make in some of those modes is astronomical. Yeah. But it's fun. It's doable. My only complaint, and I need to say it to Ray Day right now. The thing that I think lacks in that game is I need to be able to see my progression more. It's so tight and tiny that I have a hard time knowing how much further I need to do, how many more shots I need, like especially something like Working Man that can be, have so many shots. I'm like, I just need something to engage me to where that, like, okay, I look up and I'm like, okay, I'm at 2 o'clock on the clock on Working Man. I just need a bigger visual reference, because then I kind of get lost and I'm like, okay, I'm making shots and I really don't understand my progression, and the game is kind of fast, so like I'm trying to look and find on the screen.
Game.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find on the screen where my progression is and what I need to do and what I need to hit next and everything, and it's just not visually there. So if there's anything that you can do, please bring those animations and bring those graphics. Yeah,
Greg, you know what game does a really good job of visually showing progression, I think, is Guardians of the Galaxy. It's got, remember that when you start a mode, it's got a circle and it shows you is it a circle or is it a bar? But it shows you how many segments or how many more shots you need to complete that. Yeah, I think that
and it's all in the same spot.
Yep.
Exactly. So you know exactly where to look. Yep. And it does. And it's not real big. It doesn't eat up a lot of the screen. It doesn't eat up a lot of the animation stuff, but it's there and it's visually, you can see this is what I need to do. And I think without that, the game is less engaging. You wouldn't think that'd be such a big deal, but when you don't do that, it feels more grinding and you just feel kind of more lost, to where that it keeps you more engaged and you're more amped up. Like, hell yes, I need 3 more shots.
I like it too, because if you have like 3 shots left and your timer's running out, you can then hit your action button for those Hallison's cylinder, whatever the hell the give me action button progression toward. So you had 3 of those, boom, 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 and you got the mode.
Yep.
And I like that as well. So new code updates all around. Also wanted to mention, self-promoting, of course, is we had a an investment magazine that was recently published this last week called Luckbox magazine. You have to go check that out on your newsstand, or you can download it for free right now. I think it's at luckboxmagazine.com, something like that. Search it, Google it. But yours truly, myself, Zach Meny, was featured in a story there alongside owner Gary Stern Pinball, Raymond Davison, speaking of Ray Day himself, and Roper Fuentes from Emporium in Chicago. And they reached out to us to discuss the boom and the resurgence of pinball and where it's coming from, why it's happening, and how long it's going to last. It was a really, in my opinion, interesting read. But yeah, I was happy to be a part of that, and I was very proud, actually, to be a part of that. So go check that out.
And you should be. Congratulations to all of you guys, man. It was a really good article.
Thank you. It was a beautiful book, too. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. It really was.
Okay, so that's Stern Pinball. Let's jump over to our other favorite company, Jersey Jack Pinball. Greg, we got Canadian's Pinball Podcast this last week reporting that he has an inside source, who then he said was a dealer, toured the factory this last week and did not see anything on the production line except for Guns N' Roses. So a lot of people were thinking this rumored Toy Story, if that's the next game, is going to be on the line, probably maybe some in boxes. People talked about a May 23rd release. You and I knew that wasn't the case. But nothing on the line. Inside source, it's a dealer. But then JJP, I was talking to individuals at JJP, and they did tell me, they said, look, the public, including dealers and distributors, have not had any factory access in weeks, and any reports otherwise are just 100% false.
Well, and it seems kind of shady. Like, there's no way I would say my source is a dealer who toured the factory. It's like, okay, we how many dealers are going through the factory? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like a blown cover.
No, womp womp. I don't know what to make of it. I just found it interesting and wanted some clarification for you as the viewer. We're going to shift over, before we get into some of the boutiques, we're going to shift over to one of the biggest events competition-wise for the entire year, and that's the IFPA 17 World Championships. Wow. They're going to crown a world champion. We couldn't talk about the winner because we're recording while it's in its final round. So nothing there, but this occurs in Fort Myers, Florida, and this is a carryover, Greg and viewer, from 2019, 2020 standings. So some of the young guns we're not seeing in this championship because the points were based off of pre-pandemic, and they haven't had this tournament or this event since then. So we're seeing that now. But I've been watching, and it's been really, really entertaining. I've had a lot of fun watching it. All right, everybody, late breaking news here at the Pinball Show. Here I am on Memorial Day weekend trying to enjoy my day. I'm kicking back a few, playing some cornhole with the family, chilling out, sneaking in some video of the IFPA 17 World Championship. Such an awesome event that was held down in the Fort Myers, Florida area when something significant happened. And I know you guys always look to competitive pinball analysis from me, your boy Zach. So I had to break in here and I had to give you guys a new segment that we're going to call on the Pinball Show Highlight of the Week. Highlight of the Week is showcasing something special that happens visually, and I'm going to share it with you and give an analysis, and I'm going to have you interact with myself as well as the rest of the Pinball Network and comment below a multiple choice option on what in the hell just happened. Before we break it down, let's jump back into the action of the IFPA 17 World Championship, where something occurred that I've never seen before and many of you guys have never seen before. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of what you're about to see. 4 hours of head-to-head play. 4 hours of Keith Elwin playing Escher Lefkoff. It was 9th game that they've played. 9th game, it was all down to this. The winner goes into the Final Four. And on ball 3 of Jersey Jack Pinball's Dialed In, this happens.
Oh my gosh, this is so much fun to watch. This is such a great game of pinball. What a match. Oh. What a game. 1 million points with some bonus incoming. Probably going to put him close to 1.1. maybe even beyond 1.1 million. Keith has a massive hill to climb here on Dialed In.
Yep.
Keith just conceded.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before in a.
Yep.
Wow. I'm still in shock, Lewis. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
What did? Why did? I mean, at least try.
Yeah.
Why would you not try? That's Vince. I'm in shock.
Same.
Well, this game, I don't really have an answer, but certainly this whole match has been a marathon.
Yeah.
So I don't think he did it to keep IFPA on schedule.
No, that's his own decision, his own doing.
Yeah.
I'm speechless. I
have to catch.
I can't imagine ever doing that.
I mean, he's got a 2.5-hour drive, but I don't think flight to catch would be it.
Well, we can see if we can ask him.
Wow. Wow. I'm sorry. I think that was a terrible thing to do.
I agree.
But that's his call. It's his choice. As he earned the right to do what he pleases with every ball that he plays.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, just from a standpoint of competition, I would have liked to have seen him try, because it could have resulted in an epic comeback. But we at least, hey, let's not take anything away from Escher.
No.
So Escher just blasted the crap out of that dial.
What in the hell was that? He conceded. He quit. Ball 3. Pinball is a one-ball game. And the greatest of all time, Keith Elwin, exits stage left. He just quits. He's 4 hours just playing one player. He's been playing all weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And he simply quits. He's done. He's just done for... Why in the hell did you play all weekend, Keith? What was going on? Sure, he was being handed an ass whooping. I get that. Maybe on a game that he didn't know. I don't even know what to make of this. I have no clue. Zach, you shouldn't have any clue because you don't play competitively. You've never played in a tournament nor a league, so you don't have the right to say anything. It's what some naysayers may say, but you know what I say? This is my damn show. I'll say whatever the hell I want to say. And analysis is the name of the game, and that's what I do the best. But I'm going to have you guys help me out on this. I feel a number of mixed feelings regarding this. Chat blew up. If you guys were watching live stream and you're seeing that highlight clip, the chat blew up. People were pissed off. What a slap in the face this is. Some people were saying, wow, what an unselfish moment, being at the top of the world, being the greatest of all time and handing the torch to somebody else. What a show of respect. Other people just were dumbfounded and had no clue what the hell was going on. That was me. I'm still trying to figure out this competitive pinball thing because to me, as I'm watching as a viewer, I'm really confused. I don't know what this is. I don't know why waste your time and not finish it. Maybe there's some 200 level IQ shit there that I don't get, but I think it could be a number of things. Maybe Dennis and I next week will discuss it, but I'm going to give it up to you guys. Comment down below. I'm going to give you 4 options of multiple choice as to what the hell happened in Keith Elwin's head to make him just quit. You can choose option A, bad sportsmanship. Shit, such behavior is just kind of a slap in the face to the sport, to the IFPA, to the viewers, and especially to the other competitors. Man, if you lost to Keith Elwin in this last round, gee, thanks. I wanted to play. I could have been there. You just give up. B, this is Keith Elwin. He's the greatest of all time. This is just his way of taking off his hat with a tear in his eye and waving to the audience that has admired him for years. A final goodbye and a passing of the torch to the new blood. He conceded just simply out of respect for the sport that has become his legacy. It's become his life. Option C. I mean, even Michael Jordan had a little bite to him. Keith was probably thinking, I don't know. Look, I could lose now in a pretty damn big way on a game that I really don't know much about, instead of just being forgotten on such a large stage. Look, I may not win, but I can still own this show. Relevancy, bitches. Or option D. Dude had IMAX tickets to go see Top Gun Maverick, and I mean, what do we? Should we play boring ass Captain Fantastic? Guys, what a game pick, jeez. Or Top Gun, boring ass Captain Fantastic, putting everyone to sleep. Or Top Gun, Crudes 2 it is. No, I mean, can you really blame him? So make your choice down below. Option A, bad sportsmanship. Option B, it's Keith Elwin's the greatest of all time. This is his respect, his swan song, if you will. Option C, even Jordan had a little bite to him, a little razzle dazzle. All eyes still on me. Or D, Top Gun. Comment down below, share, like, discuss, describe what in the hell happened. Next week on the Pinball Show, Dennis and I will discuss in depth what we think happened, or if there was any other information that has come out to let us know what happened to the greatest of all time, Keith Elwin, at the World Championship. Oh boy. And by the time this comes out, by the time you guys are listening and watching, you can see who in the world, literally, who in the world, pun intended, won that tournament. I always feel like you and I are brothers. We can finish each other's thoughts. I can know what you're thinking most of the times. Would you agree?
I do agree. It's kind of odd, but I think that's why we work so easy together too. And I think that level of respect is like why that when we do disagree, it's so easy as well. Like,
yeah,
you know,
to
it's like,
compromise
okay,
and move forward.
Yeah, we agree so much that even though I disagree, I can at least see where you're coming from.
And I only bring that up that you and I are like brothers from another mother is because there are already pinball brothers in the industry. The little small boutique company overseas called Pinball Brothers, remember, took over for Highway Pinball. They've been updating the industry, and Craig Bobbie's been talking to him. You guys heard in Top Stories, Craig talking about Pinball Brothers reaching out and saying they're approaching with the Aliens game, they're approaching 500 games that they have shipped. That's over the year span. But so they've probably, 5-6 years that they've been going at this, but 500 games is nothing to scoff at. And right now they're building about 65 to 70 machines a month of Alien Pinball. And they said their next title is going to be, as they kind of sneak peeked it before months back, is going to be the rock band Queen. And that's their next. They're making some slight design tweaks to it, but we're going to see that hopefully within the next couple months, probably in the fall, I would guess. We're going to see Queen. I was a little mixed on the whole layout. I know Barry Orsler helped with it, but the license, Greg, how big that license is for me. I love Freddie Mercury. I love that music. It's probably, if I had to pick 5 music-based pinball machines, that would be in it. So I'm hyped up for the license. I'm hesitant about the layout and what it's going to be, but I'm still very excited nonetheless.
Well, and here's the thing that I think that they have going for them is, let's say that Queen comes out. It's not a huge success because of the layout, artwork, whatever else that they have to overcome with that game. I think that the biggest obstacle that Pinball Brothers has to get over is trust. And not trust in the company, because they're obviously putting out games, but just the trust that they're going to be around, that you're going to be able to get parts, because everyone that I talk to, it's that common boutique thing, which Spooky has overcome because Spooky has proven themselves. But I think that the reason so many people aren't buying Alien is that they're scared of, like, okay, what if something goes wrong with my game? Are they going to be around? Like what am I going to be able to get for this game? What am I going to be able to do? And I think if Pinball Brothers overcomes that, I think that you could easily triple those sales on Alien if you can just, ease people's minds that you're going to be around, because I think that that's the only thing that keeps people from buying that game. Most people who flip it, they might not necessarily love it, but they like it enough and they respect it and they absolutely love the theme that I think that they could just rerun that game for probably another year of Queen Tanks.
And as a reminder, you can always purchase your Pinball Brothers products through an authorized dealer such as ourselves at Flippin' Out Pinball. And so there's bias there, of course, because we're selling their products, but we're pretty transparent as well. Like, I was very shaky with the whole Alien thing. I did receive one. Some of the build quality on it is second to none. It's phenomenal. Some little issues here and there. I had a display issue. So they're still working on things. Parts availability is becoming much better. I do know that through CoinTaker. So not as many worries there. But they're moving machines right now. And if they continue to get licenses that people like, they're going to continue to move more and more machines. They did talk about, well, what comes even after Queen? And they said it felt like a hint when they were corresponding with Craig, Bobbie, and I. They said the next title, they made it a thing. They were like, it's got to be worthy. The word worthy.
Oh.
What do you think of when you hear worthy? I know what pops into my head. We're not worthy. We're not
that's all
worthy.
I can think about. Yeah.
It's Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Do you think Wayne's World would be a good pinball theme?
You know, personally,
90s.
like, I've always liked Wayne's World and stuff. It wouldn't be like number one on my radar, but Wayne's World still, I think, is such an iconic film, and those characters are so iconic. I mean, we did an awesome Halloween episode rendition. Of Wayne and Garth.
I think it can work. I think it's a big enough license to work. It's amazing though that this Pinball Brothers company gets dynamic, huge license. Queen, Alien, those are dynamite A license. Wayne's World borders on that B level license, but still could flex into the A level depending on what you put into it. It's a good license.
Well, and they don't have to sell 6,000 games. They're not trying to compete with Stern or even Jersey Jack or anything.
That's a great
point. Like, you know, like that's the thing. It's like, would Wayne's World sell 500 pinball machines? 100%. Would it sell 1,000? Probably. So it's not like that they have. Yeah, maybe it'd be close, but definitely 500. They're going to sell 500 games of Wayne's World. So it's like, you know, if they don't have to hit these gigantic numbers and their production and everything else to keep up with that, like, Wayne's World doesn't have to be the greatest license of all time for them. It just has to be good.
Another smaller company out of Texas is Multimorphic. Multimorphic posted this last week. They have new Weird Al Wizard mode, so a code update, and some challenges within their new code. So that's very interesting, a lot of fun. Over 2,500 call-outs from Weird Al Yankovic himself. That's phenomenal. Getting any of your license to call out 2,500 different terms or phrases. That's crazy. I can't imagine that many call outs. So if you're a Weird Al fan, you like hearing an update such as that. They are still facing production delays due to labor shortages, not so much parts or anything else. They just can't find anybody to work.
Yeah, the rest of America too. Sucks.
Can't get anybody to work. Man, I've noticed, speaking of part shortages and labor shortages, pre-pandemic food was better. Restaurants were better. Fast food was better. Food sucks now in America. Have you noticed any of that?
Yeah, and you know what? I kind of think, you know, this is just shooting from the hip, but you know, I think it's got to do with the labor shortages and different shit. I think that it's literally and maybe production or supply, because you're not able to maybe get the original ingredients or some of the things you were using. Yeah, the herbs and spices, 11 original herbs and spices.
That's right.
But like, I also think maybe you don't have the qualified people making your food. Maybe they've had to retrain people. Maybe it was somebody at your favorite restaurant who actually just knew what they were doing at that time, that sort of thing. Yeah. And that's the issue. I don't know, man. I agree with you though. Like, oddly enough, I agree with you. Like, there is a place, and I will not name it, that I loved. I would eat at all the time.
Okay.
Yes, that I went to all the time. And you know the place I'm talking about. I just don't want to bash them on here. But their food went to shit, dude.
Oh.
Like, it went to shit. Like,
You still go there and drink a shitload of beer, though.
No, I don't even go there anymore, and I hate it because it's not like it's not far away by any means, but it's just like I'm gonna give it another chance. I talked to Chelsea about it a while back. I'm like, I'm gonna go back and give it. I think
Do you guys have a family meeting? We'll sit down here. Are we gonna give it one more shot?
I do. That's the kind of that's the way our household is. I'm like, gather up the troops.
Speaking of food, didn't you bake a cake this last week?
Yeah, I did.
Greg is phenomenal at baking these cakes every year for his daughter's events, whether it's birthdays or whatnot. He takes a lot of pride and should, because he's unbelievable. I'm going to put him on like cake boss or something. He's fantastic with fondant, with piping and everything. And this last, you've made a Harry Potter cake. I've seen you make it all, and they're true, like, because I'm a really bad critic. I tell you if they were shitty, like, stop posting that shit online. It's not that great. Yeah. It's really good stuff. But you didn't post this last one. It was a Spider-Man. What happened?
Yeah. Well, first of all, time restraints a little bit.
Oh,
but
here we go with the
some
excuses.
of it was just, it was bad decisions on my part, and it was bad decisions on my daughter's part for wanting a peak Spider-Man cake. That kind of ruined the feel of it, because I do for not to be like a baker, a professional baker, to never really bake but once a year, and I always go through like a mental breakdown too. Like I truly have almost a mental breakdown
because I have to talk to you during them.
Yes, for like 2 fucking days, like I about go insane because I put so much pressure on myself, because you know how we do things. Like there's not mediocrity. Like we want things to look good. We want things, like if I'm going to do something, I'm doing it right, and I want the praise. Like I want the accolades. Like I'm not
put
somebody
everything
who goes around
into
and goes,
yeah.
Yes, and I like that praise. You know, I'm not a bullshitter. I'm not going to sit there and go, what you say doesn't bother me.
That's
Fuck
right.
if it don't. Yes, it does. I want you to say that's a great fucking cake that Greg Bone made. So, like,
well, plus you want your kids in 20 years to look back and look at the pictures of that cake and be like, oh my God, Dad, I remember that cake. That's awesome. And then their scrubby boyfriends being like, oh, that's really cool. And be like, fuck off, get out. I'm not making
And I
you
can
a
be
cake.
like, you know what? You want to date my daughter? You bake a good cake.
That's right.
Fucker.
That's right. So what happened?
Yeah.
Like what?
Dude, it just turned out like ass. Like my wife posted 2 pictures of it, and I literally made her take them down. I censored it and made her remove it from her Facebook because it was so awful, man. Like I got shaky hands anyways. I've never had a steady hand. So like I tried to pipe a bunch of webbing onto a pink, buttercream icinged cake, which buttercream is hard to get smooth anyways. I make everything from scratch. Modeling chocolate, fondant. I make everything from scratch. And everything, but this was just awful. It just turned out like shit.
If somebody's going to either bake or decorate a cake, is there just one tip that you can tell them that people often overlook or don't think about when you're baking a cake? Whether, again, baking it for the taste or even designing and decorating a cake, what's something that you think people really need to focus in on?
Fondant. Use fondant. Use marshmallow fondant. Marshmallow fondant is a lot more forgiving and a lot easier to make. So if you ever want to mess with fondant, don't look up just regular fondant. Look up marshmallow fondant. Fondant. Make your buttercream. And don't use too much when you make buttercream. So buttercream icing is nothing but powdered sugar and a shit ton of butter. Little pinch of salt in there. A lot of people don't add salt. And don't use just milk. Use your heavy whipping cream in there or a half and half.
Oh, a little half and half, huh?
Little half and half, yep. And very little. You'll want to put some vanilla in there. Never put any vanilla in there like that they call for. Put like maybe a quarter of a teaspoon. Okay. Skimp on it. Baking tips from Greg.
Yeah, baking tips from Greg. Never baked me a fucking cake, but whatever. So we talked about multimorphic. What about Pinball Adventures? You ever heard of Punny Factory?
I have heard of Punny Factory, but I don't follow up.
They're still asking me where my pin's at. It's coming. It's coming, okay? They reached out to us and said they're hoping to assemble and test 13 Punny Factory games over the next few weeks. They said it's a slower process, but the good thing is they're not relying upon this as an income. They said they have a very successful business. This is kind of just fun money and playing around with. So they said 10 games per month is kind of the goal that they're trying to spit them out. So they're not in any hurry. They're having fun with it. We'll see what they produce. And they said, look, we're only making 120 units of Punny Factory anyway. I think it's cute. I think this is all great PR.
Yeah.
Us even talking about it, you're welcome. I hate to tell you, 120 units of Punny Factory is about 90% too much. I think maybe 12 units of Punny Factory you might sell. I don't know the people at Pinball Adventures. I don't have any ill will toward them. This is just bad decisions. The whole theme is a bad decision. I don't even care if it shoots great. So you dialed in. It's just a bad decision. So if you're making it for fun in your garage, that's one thing. But if you're marketing it to sell, that's when I say it's a bad decision, because anybody in that entire building, whether it's 2 to 20 people working on these things, at some point should have stopped working and said, I can't put my name behind this because it's such a shitty, stupid theme. This is dumb.
I'll be a little nicer. Like, I agree with you on a lot of aspects.
How are you going to be nice to that? It's crap.
Well, no, I'm not going to be nice to it. I'm just going to say, so if you were building it for yourself and you're
put
building...
Put a big dick on it. Like, that's more appealing than this. Like, what is this?
It is terrible. But listen, like, if 12 people came out and 12 people said, you know what, I would buy that game, and I'd made it for myself and I could make a few bucks off of it, I'm going to build the game. Now, I'm not going to invest. It's to invest anything into that game is ridiculous to me.
Greg, I'll give you $100 if you can find me 12 people within the week that think that's a good theme. 12.
I will not take that bet because I don't know if I can find them.
Exactly.
It's terrible. I will agree.
It is very terrible. But what's not terrible is a show coming out this weekend that you all should go to. It's the Northwest Pinball and Arcade Show in the Washington area, the Tacoma.
Yes. Love all those guys up there with that show.
I know. June 3rd through 5th at the Greater Tacoma Convention Center. Greg and I fully support this show. We want to see the show do great. We love everybody that's participating in making this show happen. We've heard great things, so much so that, Greg, you and I were going to go up there and make an appearance at this show. We were going to work with the organizers to get up there and to do some big things. However, something came up in our schedule, and we have to do some production on something else. So we couldn't make it up there, which sucks because I've not been up there. But all the best to the individuals running the Northwest Pinball and Arcade Show, and maybe next year. But damn, I wanted to go up there so bad, Bone.
I do too, man. So many good people, and I've heard such good stuff about that show. It's like, I want to see it in person. I want to hang out up there.
Love you, Jerry. Greg, I don't know if you watched episode 100 last week, but the emails and the messages came pouring in, and people said they've got a fever, and the only thing that's going to cure it is the best pinball segment in all of pinball podcasting and video history. Did you see the Americana that was PMT?
I loved it.
We'll see if we can recreate this magic with a little bit more dazzle and flair in this week's rendition of Pinball Market Trends. I ran out of gas.
Failure!
Ran out
and
of
trending
gas.
down this week, Zach Meny's voice.
Oh, my vocals. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad you're here with me for Pinball Market Trends. I get a little perky. I almost want to stand up to do it. Look at that. Top of key.
Oh, stretching.
Top of key. Yeah, for those of you not watching this rendition, shame on you. You can listen to the podcast, but then you got to at least come back to watch Pinball Market Trends. Maybe also the intro. Watch the whole damn thing because there's some fun stuff in here. But nothing is trending up like Pinball Market Trends. Oh, wait a minute. There is something trending up. Trending up this week is Pirates of the Caribbean. Boom. Pirates, POTC, baby. Wait a minute. Wait for it, though. Not the JJP Pirates of the Caribbean. In a turn of events, ladies and gentlemen, it is the 2006 Stern Pinball Pirates of the Caribbean. Shout out to Dwight Sullivan. What the hell is going on? Nordman is infiltrating market trends right now because, believe it or not, numbers do not lie, and I'm only here to report the facts for you beautiful, wonderful people. POTC Pirates by Stern is taking an up. Craig, do you even believe that?
Maybe it's all the Johnny Depp trial. It's got people reinvigorated.
Look at you. You're going to be
fell in love with the Depp.
You're going to be a market trender in training if you don't watch out. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We've got the Pirates of the Caribbean JJP game continuing to stay up really high there. we've got current events that can affect the marketplace. I promise you, people, and that is all Johnny Depp and his fantastic, almost Oscar-worthy performance in that court hearing versus, what was her, Amber Heard. Wow.
You were drinking pretty heavily.
Were you there?
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, current events can affect the marketplace in products, especially in pinball. And you're seeing that now. Pirates of the Caribbean, a home use only Pirates of the Caribbean, you're up. You're really high on that. We're in the 7,000s for a decent Pirates of the Caribbean by Stern. 7,000. Great. Remember when we first got into pinball, you could have that thing for $4,200. You remember that?
Yeah. And I wanted one too. I really liked it.
I still kind of want one, though. I'm not going to lie.
I do too. Like, our friend, Indie Pin, Uncle Larry, had
Uncle
one
Larry.
in his house, and that was the first time I ever got it. And he sold it, and I wanted to buy it because I've just always kind of liked the game. Like, it's got a lot of cool toys and stuff in it, and like, I agree. I want one.
Man, so
and
that
it still looks good.
That's trending up, believe it or not. You're going to find really high-end ones in the 8s. Holy shit.
Oh, my God.
I know.
I didn't know it went up like that.
Yes, it did. I was like, I'd like to, own one of those again. I was like, oh, shit, maybe not.
Yeah.
Oh, also trending up this week is Stumbler's Tokyo Neon Sign mod for Godzilla. I know that many of you have seen this on Pinside already because it is a thread that's been on fire since it's been started. This is a new mod by Stumbler. He's famous for other mods as well, but he is taking an interested list for this Neon Sign mod for Godzilla. The Godzilla is like the new mod game. Everybody's modding the hell out of it. But this sign is phenomenal. I'm already on the list as well. If you're not, you probably need to jump on that list. But you can see it in the thread. Go to Pinside. But it's a color-changing mod for the scoop area. And then he's got little backlit panels, acrylic designs that you can choose from. You see it, you're going to buy it. So, viewer beware if you go to that thing. I'm going to keep trending. We talked about social current events going on that can affect the pinball industry, and it has in a big way. And this week's trending up, also Stranger Things. Not just the game, because the game continues to be high, but holy moly, mother of God, Greg Bone, have you seen what Medisinyl Mods has been teasing for the Stranger Things game?
I did, and it's kind of insane.
Holy shit, coming soon at the end of June, I believe, and you might see a video from straight down the middle. Bink! I'm going to show this video right now, Greg, of not just one mod, but when Medisinyl Mods puts their hands to something, they create another experience for the entirety of a game. And they're doing it again for one of my favorite games ever, Stern Pinball Stranger Things. They're creating a package, a collection. You transform the entire game, which is what I've been wanting to do in the mod industry for a long time. Not just one mod, but you transform a whole game. He recently did that with America's Most Haunted from Spooky Pinball. He's doing it for Stranger Things. And there are things that I can't talk about, and there are things not in this teaser video, viewer, that are the biggest parts of all, but he's waiting for those until later. This is going to be phenomenal. This game is phenomenal. And did you check out episode 1 yet of the new season of Stranger Things?
Yeah. Did you get to finish it?
I was at noon all night long. It was phenomenal, Greg. It was some of the cleanest filmmaking, especially for a television series. Perfectly acted, perfectly written.
Yes.
The tone, the cinematography, everything was top notch. It was better than most films I've seen, and that's just episode 1. They changed the tone entirely to give tribute and homage to the 90s and the late 80s, basically late 80s, ran into the 90s, but the horror film series like Nightmare on Elm Street,
Nightmare on Elm Street,
Freddy and all of that, Friday the 13th. They really paid tribute to that. And this is now a dark little turn that I think works so well. And truly scary shit in episode 1.
Yes. Yeah, it's almost like they took, but it's not shocking. It's not a shocking turn. It's not something that is disingenuous to the franchise, but it's just updated with their age and the times, and it kind of has turned into almost like a horror. A horror series, like
it
insanely
works so
good.
Well, I swear to you, it's one of the best TV series of all time, and you're going to see this pin continue to hold value. You've got the medicinal package and the reemergence of this series, the last season. This thing is on fire like no other. Stern Pinball, you got to do us another small run of premiums. You got to do one. I reached out to Stern Pinball, one of my guys over there, and I said, dude, is there any way that you guys would consider re-upping this license, even for a small, like, Iron Man Vault type of run? Like, come on. And I didn't get a response yet,
the popularity is back, and that was a game that took so long to gain steam. It's sort of like what we saw with JJP with Pirates. You know, by the time that it really gained a lot of traction, it was off the fucking line, and it was done. And Stranger Things has done that, dude. And the prices are so astronomical. Like, I saw pros at like $8,000, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, man. Like, because I want another one back. Like, I went to Rec Bar the other night, and that was the only game that I played there that I stayed on. Like, I played a few other games, but that was the game I'm like, I miss this so much. I want this game back in my house.
Man, if you're interested in pro, maybe you should subscribe to flippingoutpinball.com and keep your eye on the Flippin' Out Vault coming soon. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh.
Yeah, that franchise is on fucking fire right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was giddy
So
like a little schoolgirl watching it.
Oh. And it stays as good too through the next couple episodes at least.
Oh, I can't always be giddy though, and things got to be real here on the Pinball Show. Pinball market trends trending down this week. Is the market in general? Question mark. Wait a minute. Is the bubble bursting? Is it bursting, Greg? Maybe. No, here's what the deal is. I'm only reporting the facts here. The market is not trending down per se, but it's a living, breathing thing, as I always say. And right now it's softening a little bit. It's softening just a hair. This thing was rock solid like you were in high school when you wake up in the morning. Like, that thing is like a sledgehammer. All I'm saying is that it's just a little bit more flaccid. So it's not like it's still rock hard solid. It's build for it tough, you know, but it's just a little softer. And the reason that is because it's the summertime, right? Everybody's getting out and people aren't buying as much. And Stern Pinball's getting games out. If you want to follow the marketplace, follow Stern Pinball. They're getting more games
100%. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what's going to dictate this market is the more that Stern is able to keep up with production and so forth. That's what's gonna that is literally, I almost feel that Stern single-handedly is what's driving the market.
Absolutely, until maybe that next JJP game. But
that can help too.
So you're seeing a little softening. The bubble is not bursting at all, but you know, games you're going to see maybe $100, $200 drop in games that they were 2 weeks ago. That's all I'm saying. It still could go right back up again, but that's what I'm seeing right now. And I want to save you some money. I want to burst your bubble in this week's Deals of the Week. Bye! Deals of the Week this week you can find on Pinside right now. This one, we're going to reach back into the Wayback Machine on this next Deal of the Week on Pinside. It is a Gottlieb game, and it's Gottlieb Torch. 1980 Gottlieb Torch. What the hell are you talking about here, Zach? Well, they would venture to say, that is Tom Test out of Hagerstown, Maryland, that this is the nicest torch ever seen or sold on Pinside. It's restored. It's just a really clean example. Really nice example. The playfield is beautiful. If you guys are into these older Gottliebs, I think it's a system. What is this? System 1, maybe? I don't know what this is. But
yeah, I think it is.
This game you don't see too often. It's got a unique little wheel thing, stand-up target thing that you hit. $29.50. It's hard to get anything for $29.50, much less one of the best examples in the world of. And I don't hear people complain about this game too much. Looks like a fun target shooting type of game. But I'm telling you, for $29.50, the cabinet's beautiful. The playfield's really, really nice. It's spectacular. Inside's super clean. It's just, if you want a nice example, the best example of something, the art's good. That's it. $29.50. You can't beat that. Yeah. Come on. And as a reminder to all of you that actually like money out there, there's a $1,000 bounty for finding me one of the nicest radicals there is. That's all you got to do. Ooh. Lead me to the promised land of radical. And if I
still
buy
on that radical hunt,
I send you $1,000. It's easy. And if you find me a HEP one, or if you find me a restored one with everything new, I'll give you $1,500. I'll give you $2,000. I'll pay whatever's needed for that damn thing. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just here to report the facts. Don't kill the messenger, because numbers don't lie in life and on pinball market trends.
Bye!
All right, Greg, thanks for joining the show. That was phenomenal. It was fantastic. You were wonderful as always. People like you more than me, as they most often do. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Straight Down the Middle on YouTube, on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me on the telephone and by email at flippingoutpinball, Greg at flippingoutpinball.
Oh, yeah. Talk about that real quick. How is you're in the industry now. You're doing a lot of tech work. You're talking to a lot of pinball people. How's that experience been?
It's been good. I'm thankful for the opportunity to finally get into pinball, to be able to actually work in pinball, not just media, not just what we do. It's something I've kind of wanted for a long time. And, I'm still doing real estate. I'm still working on that stuff. But, sometimes, you want to go and work where your heart is as well. And, anybody watching this is obviously, their heart's in pinball as well. So, to have that opportunity to work and to get into, especially work for such a great company like you and Nicole own is phenomenal. And I get to work with my best friend. So, and again, like what we talked earlier, like we work so well together, I don't think there was really any hesitation to go into it, just because we know each other so well. And it doesn't seem like a lot of what we do and how we run Straight Down the Middle and so forth, but there's so much back and forth and behind the scenes and equipment, and especially when we do, big reveals or we do something like we've done for JJP and companies, like there's a ton that goes into that, and there's a lot of back and forth, there's a lot of disagreement, there's a lot of things. So, we've been able to overcome that over the last 5 years and to grow. So, from a business perspective, I didn't hesitate. And, again, it's just like one of those, I'm super appreciative to be able to have this job with you guys. And
we've got a great team. We've got a great team.
It's
and
phenomenal.
Sometimes tech issues that pop up are frustrating, and they make owners just want to pull their damn hair out. But I've found that with you now partnering up with us and working as part of the Flippin' Out team, like for me, maybe this is selfish, but tech issues that pop up are kind of fun to work through with you and the customer. Like, it's kind of fun. I'm like, we'll get to the bottom of this. Let's figure this out. We're both going to learn from this. And, it's been super positive for me. I can only speak for myself, but for me, it's been awesome.
But, some people might find it silly, but, I absolutely love this job. Like, I love everything about it. Like, it's phenomenal to be able to work in pinball and help people. And again, just to work with you and Nicole is just fantastic.
It's a dream come true. We're living the dream, man. We're doing what we love. And, this is only the start of it.
It is only the start, because we're getting ready to fucking take this company to the next level, which is amazing. Which is a part of the exciting part, is growing it even further.
Yeah. And Greg's been a big help, even in some of the social media stuff that you guys have seen from Flippin' Out Pinball. That's Greg Bone. All the graphics and stuff like that. So thank you, Greg. If you do need, as a Flippin' Out Pinball customer, if you need help with your new unboxed pinball machine or a game that you've got from us, you can reach out to Greg at greg@flippinoutpinball.com or at 812-802-9588. That's 812-802-9588. And we have very soon coming up the Flippin' Out Vault. I'm still working on that, but that's going to be a lot of fun. Product showcase this week is an Avengers Premium. Not that it was trending down or anything, but Avengers Premium, new unbox. Hey, I don't lie to people. I'm pretty transparent. We'll get that out to you. I think I got an extra 2 right now, so we can get those out to you, as well as we also have, Greg, we got a lot of games in stock. Guns N' Roses LEs with the Art Blades, toppers, banner still, Insider Connected kits, pros and premiums, not the specialty kits yet. Those are coming. Batman 66 LE pre-owned, Rush Pro pre-owned. I think I got another Munsters Pro in. I'm getting a Frankenstein Sega in. I'm getting a Mando Pro. I just got in pre-owned. Just got in a Star Wars Comic Pro. You don't even know about that one, Greg. Got a Star Wars Comic Pro in on trade. We've had a lot of things come in on trade. Still got a Deadpool LE, Led Zeppelin Premium, a TMNT Premium, a Star Wars LE, an Elvira 40th. Here's the update for the Elvira 40th. You guys, oh yeah, Zach's been sitting on those. You guys seen a video with me delivering one up 3 flights of stairs along with 2 other games. That was hell. And Subsequently, the next day later, somebody snagged up number 69. It's pending right now. Number 69 of Elvira's 40th anniversary. Jeez, number 69, so fitting for that title, and that's going to be a really good game for long haul value-wise. I still have one left. One Elvira 40th anniversary left, and it's the big one. It's the one that matters more than 69. It's the one that matters more than the last in the run or the first of the run. It is the coveted number 40. It's very special. Very special. And I just
such a neat game.
Haven't convinced myself, Greg, after opening that one and seeing how beautiful it was, not to open number 40 myself. So
you'll open it.
Nicole will be so mad. I swear to you, she'll like threaten divorce if I open number 40. I would
just stick it in the corner. Don't tell her.
If she bought if she bought a $30,000-$40,000 handbag, I'd lose my shit. So
yeah, but you know what? I always say, so here's my thing too, because I've had to fight with my wife about this. Like, the resell on pins is so good. Like, you don't really lose. Like, it's the one thing. There's just not much like it. Maybe classic cars, but you still, like, if something breaks down or something hits it or does something, it's so hard. You know, it costs so much to restore that. Pinball machines, you're Greg, a $400 board.
Yeah, but I'm like 30 plus pins right now. I don't need another game.
No, you don't need it, but it's fantastic to have.
I can't wait till you see one of those in person up close with that cap. Oh, it's so damn pretty.
Yeah.
We've got shaker motors back in stock. We even have golden tees. Get you a golden tee. Those things are
golden tee's amazing.
Super very, very price wise, so much cheaper than the pinball machine. So much entertainment there. People are loving it, and you get the free 2022 update once it does come out. So let's get you one of those ordered. I still have 2 IJ Deluxe toppers by Elite Pinball. Those are going to be, you're not going to see those anymore once those are gone. I'm the only one with those.
You won't have those.
Yeah.
Yes. And, you know, back to Golden Tee, the one thing about Golden Tee real quick that I love, that's one of my favorite things about a Golden Tee, is that it has like a randomness, almost like a pinball machine, to it, to where you're almost not playing the same game even when you play by yourself or something. And it's a great game that you can play by yourself.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that's one great aspect versus a lot of other arcade games that you don't get with those that you do with Golden Tee.
It's very sport-like. I mean, there's a lot of strategy, a lot of skill there, but you're playing with a ball kind of still. You're still dealing with the physics of a ball. So I very much agree. We've got banners as well, merchandise as well. Escalera's turnaround time is 4 months plus. I know. But something very cool is coming from Escalera very soon. That's all I can say. It's in the prototype phases right now. Just wait. Just wait. TPN last week had a Triple Dream Pinball podcast on TPN, as well as some wonderful, magnificent streams. I don't know what's coming up this week, though. We'll have to check to see what this week is. I'm ready to hang out, Greg. You ready to hang out this week with me?
I am.
So we need to record some more straight down the middle videos. We've got some other recordings to do. It's going to be a big week for us.
It is. It's a long, busy week.
I hope you eat your Wheaties. Hope you don't get your dick bit off by the alligator, my friend. Allie's hungry.
Or at least my legs broke.
By the tail.
Whack me in the wiener.
Oh, for Greg Bone, I'm Zach Meny.
And don't lose your tater to a gator.
That's a good one. I'm proud of you. And always practice safe pinball. And the next time you're going to get really stoned and high, just try not to go get that Special K from a weird, sketchy-ass trailer park. See you guys later. Gameplay, Zach. Here we go. Come one, come all. It's the Pinball Show with your host, Zach Meny. Late breaking news.